to the MKP.
Yeah, I wanted us to explore the reason for the establishment.
Is it yourself, Honorable Nomvalo, and who?
Yes, myself and I was taking us all together.
We allocate 20 minutes per speaker. We're taking 2 from you now.
2.
Who is speaking? Who are the 2 speakers now from you?
Myself and Comrades Kosana.
Listen, your time starts now.
I'm listening, Chair.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
Yeah, it's going to end at 10 minutes past.
But I'm being disturbed here.
I'm saying that your time, both of you, is going to end at 10 minutes past 5. Plus the discretionary 5 minutes of the chair. Discretionary.
Yeah. So we appreciate in advance, Chair. Doc, how are you? Are you okay, Doc? Do you understand how the South African justice system operates?
Sorry, do I understand how South Africans?
Justice system. Do you know how the justice cluster is designed? The South African justice cluster.
I know how the justice is supposed to work. I have the basic outline of it, and I know that for most people it doesn't work.
Do you understand the role of each and every component in a justice cluster?
The justice cluster, well, I know what the NPA, what the police, what the various security industries are supposed to do, and I know there's a military, and I know there's a correctional services.
But the question is, do you understand each role of each cluster? I mean, of each component?
Yeah, it's in the Constitution.
Of each entity, rather, do you understand?
Well, more or less. I mean, I can't give you chapter and verse, but I check the Constitution regularly to see what they're supposed to be doing.
Do you understand the work of the NPA?
I do, yes.
Do you understand the work of the police?
Yes, I mean, I understand the role of the police, the SAPS Act, the constitutional provisions about ministers and what they should do.
Yeah, before I go to my ultimate question, because these are just questions leading to an ultimate question. The problem with you is that you, in your evidence, largely, that you have tendered so far, you keep on saying you don't know. And when we were intervening here, when you were being evasive, when you were evasive, I said to you, largely you are relying on hearsay, and the unfortunate part is that the hearsay evidence is evidence whose credibility relies on a person other than the person giving evidence. So the evidence that you are giving here, its credibility doesn't rely on you, because you distance yourself from it, while you are the one who gave it here. That is my problem. And I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the fact that your evidence or your perspective on the PKTT influenced an executive decision. That's why I have a problem. I don't have a problem with you damsacking. That is none of my business. But the problem here is that you have damsacked at the expense of South Africans. That is my biggest problem with you. Now, if you say you understand the role of the NPA versus the role of the SAPS, why would you blame the police for bail applications and for the withdrawal of cases? How do they feature?
I've made it perfectly clear that the decision is with the NPA and that we have a problem with the NPA, because I have worked with prosecutors from the 90s. I know what they're supposed to do, and I know that we have a problem with prosecutors themselves, especially the one, how come that we had things going well with good prosecutors in the province, both at Cleveland's, even with the Magaka case, until they were removed, and we get a man who's against whom there are very serious complaints being made in Gauteng. Is it just a coincidence? Right. So I've said it. Informally, we have more of a problem with the NPA than we do with the police because they're supposed to be the people that are saying, go back and get more evidence. We saw this, if I could give a very brief example. And this is something I know so well, day in, day out. When the carnage started in Cleveland's hostel in Durban, it was all about the councillor. And the minute people said you're not delivering, they started killing the
Yeah, no, Doc. For the sake of my time, I think I have to cut you.
quickly.
No, Doc. We're sharing time, remember, yeah. So you have to do justice to my time as well.
That the prosecutors are a problem in many areas.
Yeah. Do you know how the PKTT was designed?
I know it was designed. It was designed to be headed by the National Deputy.
No.
That's
Do you know which role players or professionals who were part of the PKTT or entities from the Justice Cluster?
They were supposed to be. You see, there's an ideal and there's a real. They were supposed to be interministerial. Supposed to be. But we've never seen a report.
No. I mean at a grassroots level. Do you know the components or entities of the Justice Cluster who were part of the PKTT?
They were supposed to be the correctional services, the prosecution, intelligence, police, and forgotten the other one now off the top of my head.
So that's
supposed to be.
But they were never part.
I've never seen a pronouncement coming from that interministerial team. It was always in the rare pronouncements. I think there were two of them.
So if I put it to you that it consisted of the police and the NPA as well, then that would mean you don't know how it was formulated.
No, I know that. I've just said it. It was police, justice, interministerials.
No, remember you said they were supposed to be, and you further said you were not aware if they were part because an announcement was not made. You remember? That's what you said.
And then, no, what happened is it was announced as interministerial with those components. Right. Then after that, the only public announcements, and there were very few, I can remember two, but clearly there was no mention of any reports coming from an interministerial team in the public.
In the public.
So.
In the public.
Yeah.
So you analyzed it at a face value. When you say in the public, because you don't know if such reports were given in internal meetings. Because there was a reporting mechanism, remember? Internal reporting mechanism that was put in place. So you don't know whether that mechanism or those processes were followed.
Well,
to tender reports.
Should they not have been public?
Or your expectation was that maybe a media briefing should be called and they are made available to the public. Is that what you are saying?
It was clearly who called the media briefing.
Okay. You know, another problem I have here is that I think from page 1 until the last page of your statement, you keep the gist of your concerns around the operation of the PKTT is centered around the alleged victimization of victims. So the conclusion which I draw here is that you were mostly concerned about the victims and not, the accused, sorry. It's centered around the accused people. Some are in custody, some were not arrested. Some, according to your allegation, were harassed by the police. And you say nothing about the victims and the families who lost their loved ones.
On the contrary, I'm very concerned. Mrs. Magaka Sr. has been sitting in court for 7 years with no progress. And that was why and the hitman wanted to confess and tell the story. She just wanted to know why her son was killed. And she's not the only one. Some of those cases have dragged on and on. And why are we not saying, but how many more people? The biggest problem I have in what I do is getting justice for people. It's almost impossible. People have no closure. And we're not talking just a select group of politicians. We're talking South Africans generally. So it's part of the problem, and there's this deliberate delaying tactic.
Okay, somewhere in your statement, you are saying political killings in 2016 were mostly precipitated by internal ANC political dynamics, and they were mostly triggered by Zuma versus Ramaphosa faction. Who told you that?
People in the ANC. I was even given a copy of a hit list at one stage.
No, because fortunately I was a member of the ANC at that time. I think in my region, for instance, and my region was one of the hotspot areas in KZN.
Which one was that?
Herikwala region.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I think we lost about four or five comrades.
Yeah.
And what you are saying does not feature in the reasons for political killings at that time. It doesn't feature anywhere. There was no Zuma and Ramaphosa faction which led to to these political killings. People were just fighting for power in a regional jurisdiction. So where do you get this from? I've got a problem really, because seemingly here you are giving us unscientific perspectives. And the problem with these perspectives of yours, of yours, is that they influenced an executive decision. And you come here, you tell us, I don't know, and you are thumb-sucking.
Thumb-sucking.
You never engaged in any scientific process. You were not an ANC member, you were not in the leadership, you never did any inquiry.
Oh, I did.
In the ANC to establish the reasons for these political killings.
I did speak to people in the ANC, and we picked up a lot about the conflict over what was happening, even in Cleveland's hostel, and in different places. So, it matters not at all. It's a minor detail about the politics of all this. The deaths are the deaths, whether they're Ramaphosa, whether they're Zuma, whether they're any other supporter. It's not a major thing in the disbandment of the task team. I'm saying that when the task team was disbanded, there was already a conviction for one of those pre-election deaths, and there were other investigations.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you, Doc, you are wrong to say that the political killings in KZN around 2016 were precipitated by the prevalence of the Zuma and Ramaphosa factions, respectively, in the province. You are wrong. That is unscientific.
Well, are you able to be objective if you're a member? Yes.
I told you, I just gave you a scenario of my region. I told you that in my region, none of what you are saying transpired. In my region, 5 comrades died. It's all known. It's there in the public domain that, for instance, the prominent murder of Cindy Zomakaka was as a result of corruption allegations. Really. So there was no Zuma and Ramaphosa factionalism there.
That was after the elections, the death of Magaka.
No, but I'm saying what you are saying is unscientific. Where did it happen? Who belonged to a Zuma faction who was killed? Or who belonged to a Ramaphosa faction who was killed?
Joe Dlamini, who was in the Ramaphosa faction, who was the top of the hit list, who got killed.
You want to write it down? Who?
He was called Joe Dlamini. He was a traffic officer. I think he was Joe Dlamini. It's in that article.
Joe Dlamini from which region?
Pietermaritzburg.
Pietermaritzburg.
Yeah.
From which branch?
Oh gosh, as if I can remember that now. He was on the hit list. He was number one on the hit list, and there was a conviction.
He was number one of?
On the hit list that was going round at the time before the election.
Were the perpetrators arrested?
Yes, by the provincial team.
Were they sentenced?
Yes.
Under which charge?
Murder.
Under murder.
Yeah.
Were the reasons were they established for that matter? Were reasons established?
I haven't look. I know there was a conviction. I only use that to illustrate the fact that the provincial team was doing convictions. I'm not. He was murdered. He was a politician. Right.
Yeah,
I'm not. I think we're
Doctor,
off the topic here. I'm not saying one other faction is involved.
Doctor,
Yeah.
what the honourable member wants to ask you is, after the conviction was made, did you get hold of the judgment?
No, because it was in progress at the time I wrote. I got that information from sources within the ANC, including one man whose name was, or at least one that was on the hit list.
But there are grounds on which the presiding officer arrives at the conclusion, at the conviction.
I know.
That is what he wants to know.
Yeah. No, it didn't concern me afterwards. I was only looking at who got convicted and who didn't want. And I agree with you, because it's exactly what happened in the Ntuli case that they boast about.
Yeah, let's allow the honourable member to proceed with his line of question.
Yeah, you are also saying, Doc, in your statement that the establishment of the PKTT was unnecessary. In that, and that is your reason, I'm quoting you verbatim, in that it was led by General Mkwanas, General Khumalo, and Captain, I think it's flying from the NIU.
Good.
So is that your only reason? Is that the only reason that you rely on to suggest that the PKTT was unnecessary? Because the expectation, as I was reading your statement, was that you will go further to explain why you say it was unnecessary. You have just limited it on who was leading it, and it ends there.
No, it's one of the reasons. I mean, to start with, I've never heard of an investigative team that hasn't got a senior detective leading it. I mean, it's just one of the reasons.
Okay. So you and my observation based on your statement is that you never agreed with its establishment from the inception, correct?
No. At the inception, I had an open mind. It was a couple of years later when I saw very little.
No. But why are you saying? Because you are saying in your statement, the provincial team that was there before the PKTT was more efficient and effective. That's what you are saying in your statement. So that means if your belief is that it was more efficient and effective, then there was no need for the establishment of this one. And you even say the arrest of Cindy Somakaka was made by a detective of the provincial team, not the PKTT. The PKTT jeopardized it because cases were later withdrawn. That's what you are saying in your statement. So that is why I'm saying to you, you never agreed with its establishment from inception.
Oh, I need to explain. I didn't understand why.
Can you speak through your mic?
Yes, no, because I didn't.
No. Your mic.
Yeah,
not yes, no. Your mic, yeah.
I didn't understand why it should be established, but we had all this going on about, well, the Morani Commission said it should be. I thought, well, let's see what it does. And then I couldn't actually find out much about it, what it does. And 2 years later, it didn't seem to have done much at all.
You are also saying that some accused people did not get legal representations, and you attribute that demise to the PKTT.
No. I'm not saying it's because of the PKTT. It's much wider than that. People are being let down. The PKTT victims, like the let's use the hitman because it's such a Nglegwa. I mean, they're getting legal advice, but not. The lawyers are often, the legal aid offers are often inexperienced, and the prosecution is quite intimidating, and various people independently have given information about bribery being fairly common. So I don't know who is getting bribed and who isn't. But
no, but do you know that because you have made that criticism under your criticism or within the criticism of the PKTT, the issue of legal representation. Do you know that it's a responsibility of the Legal Aid Board to give legal representation to people who qualify to get it?
I know that.
So the police enter nowhere in that space. If people who deserve to get free legal representation through legal aid don't get it, then a blame can be attributed to the legal aid, not to the PKTT.
I didn't blame the PKTT for it. These victims are like other victims. You know, if I say to them, but did you ask your lawyer to do this? I asked him and he didn't do it. Or what is your lawyer? Well, the lawyer doesn't listen to me. Now, these are, this is a comment generally I'm talking about. And because of the PKTT having this prosecutor that is widely accused of bringing cases that are fabricated, if that's the case, then people suffer even more if they haven't got a very smart lawyer. I mean, in the case of Dlamini, his co-accused, I kept saying to him, but look, if you think this magistrate is partisan, you can actually apply, if you can give evidence if you can talk about that, you can apply for a change of magistrate. He said, I asked my lawyer to do it, and he didn't do it. Then along comes an advocate for the co-accused, and he's quite sharp. And when the judgment finally happens, he checks the judgment, and he finds that it's fabricated evidence of the judgment, non-existent case law. So when he goes back to court...
Yeah, no.
So what I'm saying is, he had a good lawyer that picked it up.
Okay. Now my last question. You are saying, the PKTT is grossly irregular. What do you mean? And based on which law are you saying it's grossly irregular?
Okay. It doesn't have any permanent senior leadership in detective service.
So that is your reason.
I have a list of people who...
No. If please, because I'm running out of time. Doc, please. In terms of which law, do you have any law which supports your argument that it is grossly irregular? In terms of which law? If there's no law, it's okay. Say I can't cite any law. I will leave it there. I won't pursue it further.
There's no law that talks about...
Okay. No, thank you very much.
I
think I've run out of time. Thank you very much. Honorable Kosana can come in.
Thank you so much, Honorable Nomvalo. Charlie, your time starts now.
Thank you, Chair. Doc, can you please, when you respond, use your mic, please? Thank you. Chair, I'm going to start by asking Dr. De Haas, before we go anywhere, on what legal authority do you believe you can involve yourself so intimately in such operation?
I'm a human rights defender, which is an internationally recognized status of acting to protect people from harm. It is that status. Don't come to me now with this thing about locus standi, because even the Constitution, if I recall correctly, allows somebody who's not a lawyer to appeal on behalf of someone, to ask for example, for example, what I've done often is that I've actually asked for a review of a decision not to prosecute, and I've gone to the national prosecutor. And I can do that.
Thank you. I just want answers.
Yeah.
I know you're a doctor and a professor, so it's easy to, lecturing someone. But here I need answers.
Given you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because we are not SAPS. We are not IPD. We are not IGI. We are not a sworn officer. Am I right?
I'm not, but don't you understand that when the police force has been as badly corrupted as ours has, and we're still fortunate to have a lot of good police at all levels, because the evidence is there, even in media reports about the nepotism and the people suddenly being brigadiers and they've never been in the police. So don't lecture me about that, because the problem is that you need oversight of the police. You can't rely on the police to tell you the truth if you're criticizing the police.
Yeah, but Doc, you are contradicting yourself. You said earlier, yourself now, you say you cannot rely on the police. But you gave us a statement in your statements here. Wait, Doc. You said that you've been given information by some police who, according to you, are credible.
Yes.
Now you can't say to me we don't have a police. They are not credible now. We are changing your own statement.
No, I'm not.
No, you are saying now to us, to the committee, not me, that we don't have a credible police men and women. But the people who gave you this information are police, am I right?
Have I not just said we are lucky to still have credible police? We're talking now general police management since 2019 has been getting more and more problems.
Thank you.
Right. But we're talking that there are still credible people in the police, and those are the people I am supporting.
So in other words, the only credible people are those who are coming to you. Those who don't come to you are not credible. Wait, Doc. Wait for the question, please. I always ask, don't be emotional. Let me ask you a simple question. Because you've been following this ad hoc committee, am I right? You've been following it.
Listen to everything. I've got too much else to do.
Thank you. Now, is General Mkhwanazi credible?
I don't believe he is. And I don't believe General Mkhwanazi is credible.
And is General Nomvalo credible?
Nope, definitely not.
Is General Sibia credible?
Pardon?
Is General Sibia credible?
No, that I don't know. I haven't done enough to deal with him.
No, but
I don't know if he's credible.
No, but Doc, others the other two I ask you, that they're not credible according to.
And Masemola, he perjured himself to Parliament.
No, I've not. I'm not yet there, Doc.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come later on that.
Honorable Skosana, let's hear the last statement that you say, Doc. What are you saying? You say, Masemola what?
He perjured himself to Parliament. You can ask the committee. I put a formal complaint in. What happened was, at the end of 2022, just after Patricia Mashale had almost been killed, they asked us to give evidence. They didn't let us, and Masemola gave evidence that was lies.
I was not saying that. You must explain. I just want to hear this. You say Commissioner Masemola perjured himself to Parliament.
Yes. And I'm also told that General Mkhwanazi changed his sworn statement. I don't know if that's correct.
No, Doctor. Doctor.
I don't know.
You know, when I talk to you, I talk to you as a young South African who must learn from you. So whose decision is it that Commissioner Masemola pictured himself before Parliament?
He gave in December, or was it the 30th of November, 2022?
No, yes.
He told lies about Patricia and Gordon Mashale. That's when it happened.
Doctor, the question is, whose decision is it that Commissioner Masemola pictured himself before Parliament?
Because the facts were shown to be wrong.
Whose decision is it?
Various people, starting with the decision was for an interrogation by Parliament to see if it was correct.
This ad hoc committee is still conducting investigations.
Okay.
It has not concluded its business. But that's why I'm asking yourself, whose decision is it that Commissioner Masemola pictured himself before a committee of Parliament? Whose decision is it?
I first wrote to the Speaker because the problem was that what he said was repeated and published without any, and then I sent a formal complaint to the police committee.
Can I respectfully ask you to withdraw that statement, because as a committee we have never arrived at that decision. As the chairperson of this committee, the committee you speak about is chaired by me sitting here.
Okay.
We haven't arrived at any decision that Commissioner Masemola pictured himself before Parliament. May you please withdraw that?
Well, can I say he allegedly perjured himself because... No.
Dr. De Haas, there is no other way to say it. There is only one way.
All right.
The one way is the one that I'm saying to say.
You can withdraw it. I'm fine with that.
May you respectfully say I withdraw the statement because the committee has not arrived at that decision.
Please do that.
Yes.
I would appreciate it.
Can you do that?
Please do it,
I want to hear you saying that I withdraw.
I withdraw that because the committee is not dealing with it and has, as far as I know, not dealing with it. I answered a question.
Yes. May you say, I withdraw the statement I made about Commissioner Masemola.
I withdraw the statement I made about Commissioner Masemola.
Thank you so much, Jali. May you proceed.
Thank you, Chair. You know, it's only 3 questions in 10 minutes. It's disappointing. But be that as it may, can you please explain, Doc, because you are a private individual, how did you come to a position to position yourself as an oversight mechanism over detectives, prosecutors, and intelligence structures?
It's part of my position as a human rights defender to help people who are at risk and who are being harassed, persecuted for what and apparently, I mean, let me just say I'm quite astonished because I don't know. I reported 4 years ago to Parliament that General Khumalo's members were seizing phones without a court order. Now, I would have thought that Parliament would have said, but hang on a sec, let's just check this out and see if it's really happening.
Chair, I sit in the police portfolio committee we are talking about. I sit in that committee. For your information, Doc. In paragraph 2, you base your assertions on official you spoke to, which you don't want to give us names as we speak. And I'm not sure who authorized them. And how do you come to a conclusion that what they gave you, because there's no OD here, you don't know the other side of the story. In my view, I'll be honest and frank to you. Your hate towards General Khumalo.
No, I don't hate it.
No, wait, Doc. Wait, Doc. Because your statement here before us, like many others, like Sibia who came here to say what General Mkhwanazi was talking about is a dream. But we know now, the country as well knows today that his bravery. We are not taking sides. Remember, we are still probing here. You are giving us, what you gave us here are allegation as well. Do you agree with that? Please don't explain. Do you agree that what you are telling us, like any other witness, are still allegation before us?
Look, when you speak to somebody that you know very well, and somebody who's always been very honest, and the phones have gone, and when the phones come back, one is damaged. The person knows the law. All they had to do was come back and say, well, here's the order. And they didn't.
Doc, are you sure that those phones were damaged by the police? Are you sure of that?
Am I sure? Sorry?
Are you sure that those gadgets you are talking about were damaged by the police?
One was, apparently. The owner told me that. The phone was damaged when he got it. So I'm not supposed to believe people that I know very well that have always told the truth.
Doc, you say you know these people very well. Mm-hmm. That's you who are telling us that. Must we believe you that you know them very, very well? Are those your informers?
No, this is Tabisa Zulu.
No. I'm saying, are those your informers? Because you know them very well.
I told you that the informers that I won't mention names of are police members.
So why should this committee rely on hearsay obtained throughout irregular means? Because what you are telling us, the police can go as well. They know where to go. There's IP.
The police can, sorry, what did you say about the police can also do that?
I said to you, why should this committee rely on a hearsay obtained through irregular means?
What do you mean irregular means? If I've made an affidavit about it, about what I was told, what I asked Khumalo, what I asked Mkhwanazi. If I didn't get feedback from them, how can I prove whether it's true or false? I expected Parliament to question them or to get it investigated.
Okay, let's go to, because I know I'm not going to win on this one. But the fact remains that the statement which you gave us is allegation, is not facts. Until we finish this probe. Now I'm going to go to your political narratives vis-a-vis evidence. In paragraph 4, you claim that there was an obvious attempt by certain ANC factions to secure municipal control. Who told you that?
Oh, gosh, we were hearing it all over the place, including in eThekwini especially, where sorry,
Chair.
Reported in the media.
Chair, to you, Chair. Let me repeat my question again. In paragraph 4, you claim that there was an obvious attempt by certain ANC faction to secure municipal control. My question is, who told you that? Or unless you are an intelligent analyst.
Well, it was almost common knowledge, and certainly people in the ANC told me that. Well, this one supports this one supports that one supports this one. And we were looking at the councillors in the Thekwini particularly.
You had no access to classified briefings, am I right?
No. I don't personally have any access to anything classified. I think there's too much classification. We've got to get oversight going.
So what gives you the certainty to declare political motives?
Sorry, what classification are you talking about?
What gives you the certainty to declare political motives?
What I am reporting is what ANC people were telling me at the time, and they can contest it.
They show you
to them to contest it if they wish.
Do they show you their membership card to say these are?
Well, I know some of them are. I have a very good network.
Yeah, but some, no, not all of them.
And we had more or less a good idea of what was going on in the areas at Glebelands around there. But I mean, this is all past history. It's got nothing to do with the task team.
No, listen. We are talking about the killings here. All these questions here. I'm sucking anywhere outside the terms of reference which we have.
Yes.
Thank you. Why do you freely attribute to political motives killings, but later on paragraph 17.3, criticize us for defining political killings? Is that not the contradiction?
Sorry, 17?
Paragraph 17.3.
I'm sorry. It's this one.
Like the reconstruction of PKT structures.
17.3. You mean I tried to explain, I've worked with since 1990, since the establishment of the Goldstone Commission, and there's been a consistent teams that always have senior detectives in charge.
Yeah, in fact, let me just help you. Judge Goldstone was an apartheid judge in 1990. We're not transformed in this country during those years. And I want to put it to you that those issues which you are really familiar with invoke the pains of South Africans. If you are talking about Judge Goldstone as if he's an angel, with me, you are completely wrong. But be that as it may, let's go further because there's no time now. In paragraph 7, you allege that Minister Cele went behind their backs.
That's what police told me.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Were you present, or is there hearsay as well? Were you present, or is it a hearsay?
They said this was what they were saying. I didn't say I was present.
So you agree with me that almost what you gave us on your statement is hearsay?
No.
It's hearsay.
No, it's not. I know a lot of this to be as factual as can be. I mean, tell me, have any of you asked whether it's true that Mkhwanazi went and stopped the arrest of a human trafficker on the instructions of Cele? This is a police note. Has anyone asked that? Because I don't know if it's true.
Let's not off-frame talk. Intelligence claim without verification is false.
Look, that's a whole subject in itself. I just want to say one thing in my own defense. Do you know, in the middle of the 80s, when this violence broke out, I quoted a line from Bob Dylan's song.
Yeah, wait.
Death will it take till we know how many people have died. Look, and that was I was blaming the white government. Look at the people who are dying now. And a black government, and nobody cares about them, but they care about politicians die. I mean, this is what bugs me. I'm dealing with poor people getting killed, no justice.
Let me tell you, Doc.
No one does anything with money spent on the task team.
Dr. De Haas.
Yeah. If you want to, I think we're
Dr. De Haas. Dr. De Haas. Honorable Skosana is a young South African. And when a young South African appeals to the chair to say he needs protection from a senior citizen, I get worried. Because, you know, I have respectfully requested you that sitting here as young South Africans, we want to tap wisdom from you. And I want him to tap wisdom from you. Honorable Skosana.
Yes, before I conclude, because I know the chair will be saying to me, it's time up. Let me say this quickly. Yeah. In paragraph 30 to 32, you present extremely a serious intelligence allegation. You then admit in your own way, I have no way of confirming any of these allegations. If you cannot confirm them yourself, why are you presenting them as evidence to Parliament? No. Did you at any point verify these claims with intelligence, with the Inspector General of Intelligence? And what statutory authority do you have to receive crime intelligence information? Your contradiction about sense of Mkhunu leaves much to be desired. Can you respond on that before I give you my last question?
All I can say is I wanted to make it clear I was asked what I knew about intelligence. I gave a very general report about what I had heard, not specifics, allegations, and I said I have no way of knowing whether these allegations are true. I would not have even included that had I not been asked to do it.
In fact, you said in your own way that you expected Minister Mkhunu to do nothing. But there's a claim that you wrote a letter to Minister Mkhunu to disband PKTT. Am I right?
Yes, I think that's not disputed. It's there.
Lastly, Chair, Dr. Haas, much of your affidavit is, if you will remember, I just want you to remember, and when you respond on me, please be factual, because and confirm whether what I'm going to put to you, is it in your own weight, or am I right? Hearsay, Chair, I want to make it clear. No, wait, Doc. The statement which were given to us is hearsay, unverified allegations, opinions, narratives from accused persons, leaked intelligence, and reconstruction based on anonymous sources. Why should this committee treat any of this so-called reliable evidence put before us?
Can I explain that most of it is not hearsay to me? It's what lawyers, what victims, what community members have told me. I don't know I raised intelligence because I was asked to, and because I wanted to motivate this committee, or not this Parliament, to rush that civilian control of intelligence through. Remember Cindy Mufamadi's report saying it's urgent because of the creeping culture of secrecy. That's why I put that there.
Let me say this to you, Doc. You spoke about the 1980s. The national commissioner, then he was working for the special branch. Wait, no, I haven't finished. I don't know what hence I don't know what you're going to answer, because I'm still telling you that some of us, he tortured us in the 80s. Now,
sure.
I want to put it to you, Doc, that your statements as well, as I said when we started, some of the journalists, not all of them, I gave names some times ago. You know, Karen Morgan, Anden Passon. You know them. You know, you operate like them.
Well,
Marian Dam and others. You know, you sensationalize this. And unfortunately, Minister Senzo Mkhunu as well listen to you. But you can't direct Parliament to do what you want. We need facts here. No, not dumb side. We don't need essays here. Yeah. But anyway, thank you, Doc, and thank you, Chair, for your time.
Honorable Skosana, thank you so much. Honorable Nomvalo, your hand was up.
Yes, it was up for a follow-up question, Chair. I just wanted to ask from Dr. Meridias. Doc, do you know what hearsay is?
Very well.
Because you seem to have a particular understanding of what it means.
I've tried to explain.
And please don't be too long.
To me, and gives me very detailed evidence. It's not hearsay. It's direct.
No. Wait, Mary.
To you, it's hearsay.
Doc, when we say hearsay, we mean to us because we are presenting what you know to us. You are not presenting to yourself. I said to you, I gave you a legal definition of what hearsay evidence is. That hearsay is an information whose credibility relies on the other person, other than the person who is giving that information. So here, you are giving an information. And the credibility of the information you are giving doesn't rely on you because you are saying, I was told. So it means it relies on the person who told you. That is why we are saying it's hearsay. Had those people who told you, who are invisible to us, written statements, had they wrote statement under oath for you to attach them to your statements, we will be speaking a different language. So it's people of Umkosi who told you Umkosi and you come and present it here as facts. That is what we are saying. So the credibility of what you are telling us does not rely on you. It relies on the people who told you. And it's hearsay to us. Do you agree with that?
I agree. And this is why I have been writing to Parliament and asked them to hold people to account. If there's an allegation that people are seizing phones without a court order, have you brought them in? Have you got a copy of the order? That's the only way you'll ever verify it.
Yeah. No. I just wanted us to have a common understanding on the meaning of hearsay.
She confirmed.
Then we leave it there. So you agree with me?
She confirmed, Honorable Nomvalo.
Thank you.
Can I check this with you? Did I hear you call him Mary?
No, I later changed. I said.
Did I hear you?
I later changed. I said doc.
Yeah. Just say to her that because sometimes in the conversation we have to throw word after word. I unfortunately called you Mary when I was not supposed to have done so.
But I corrected it, and she did not raise any discomfort. I corrected it immediately. I realized that I made a mistake.
I heard it from where I'm sitting. That is why.
And it was corrected. It means the only part you missed is a correction because I corrected.
No, because I know you to always be a person of good intentions.
Exactly.
That is why she must not live here with a wrong impression about you.
No, but it was corrected, Doc.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. It was corrected.
Chief Whip.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. Good afternoon, Dr. De Haas. I just want to make a follow-up on the flowing from what we have just agreed. I take it that you are conceding to the explanation of the meaning of hearsays as provided for by Honorable Nomvalo. Can I ascertain if you are agreeing with his explanation?
Well, technically, perhaps, but I mean, can I explain? If I get somebody telling me something and I can verify it from somebody else, as with some of what's in these letters, I am leaving it to somebody else to interrogate it further. That's why I report to the police. That's why I report to Parliament. I'm asking them to take what I'm giving them to verify it.
Okay. So therefore, in that context, should we therefore conclude that all your unverified allegations are not the basis upon which we can depend on as we prepare our report as a committee?
May I ask if you have asked General Mkhwanazi and General Khumalo for verification of everything they've said?
Okay, I'll answer your question, but please answer mine first, because I asked her first.
Look, I am reporting what I believe is true from different sources about the political killings team.
That's not an answer to my...
If you say it's hearsay, well, that's your opinion. To me, it's not. To me, it's empirical, factual information.
Okay, let me explain. I thought we are logical people. And so, because we're logical people who are following a particular rationality in our conversation, that is why I said it therefore flows from what Honorable Nomvalo has said, that therefore it would be rational for us as a Committee of Parliament to treat your evidence before us to a larger extent, as he has said, because it's until there's a verification about it.
Well, as long as you treat everybody else's evidence in the same way, I wouldn't have a problem.
So if
Yeah, no, I hear you. Dr. De Haas, I'm listening to your responses to Honorable Nomvalo and Honorable Ntuli. And you are saying these matters came to my attention. That's what you are saying.
Yes.
And I'm considering the information that I have gathered in serious light. And in several occasions, I would have written to Parliament or I would have written to authorities for them maybe to investigate these matters further. That's what you are saying.
Yes.
And then when they have investigated, you expect them to either report back, even if they don't report back to you, but just to report back to the people they represent in government. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, more or less. It's you like a court to assess. Yeah.
And that the evidence that you have deposed in your statement, and maybe that you would have presented here orally, is evidence which is still pending verification, because at the time you wrote, it was still not verified.
No, because I had no way of verifying it, did I? Unless the cases are in court.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Look, on your part.
On my part.
On your part, you might have consulted one or two people and they corroborated. But on the part of the authorities, let's say the police commissioner, the minister, or the chairperson of a portfolio committee in Parliament, or a speaker of Parliament, have not returned back to you to say, the information that you gave us, we investigated it, and now we are satisfied that it holds true.
No, nothing like that has happened. That's why I was very glad that there were to be investigations. When, I mean, again, regretfully, I shall not name the commission.
So when you heard that there is going to be an ad hoc committee to investigate, you got excited.
Well, I was very pleased that Parliament was sitting up and paying attention to what was a serious matter, because
that is what the Chief Whip wants to know from you, that some of the information here, by your own evidence, still have to be verified.
Well, of course, until cases, the verification in criminal matters is done by a court to the best of its ability, and then it gets contested. I mean, there was one case the task team got convictions for. It had to go all the way to the Concourt before Concourt threw it out because of procedural irregularity. So it's a long process verifying, isn't it?
Yes, because remember, the cases that you make reference to here, most of them are, in fact, not most of them, all of them are cases of murder. So yeah, these are very, very complex investigations. And some of the allegations that you make, they go beyond superficial statements. They have to be intensively investigated, and some even scientifically. So you are saying before this committee that some of the information deposed here still has to be verified.
Well, if the cases are in court, I mean, the court will assess in due course, and maybe there'll be an appeal, and you know how it goes.
And that most of the information that you have, you got it from people who are working in the police services.
There are medical certificates about abuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some information you might have got from community members.
Yes.
And those,
Quite a lot.
and those are the people that you have said here, for ethical reasons, you may not mention their names.
Yes.
Those are your sources.
Yeah.
And that the members, Honorable Nomvalo and Honorable Nduli, when they say there is evidence that you presented here, which is hearsay, it is not hearsay to you in this context because people might have confided with you and even shown you some material evidence. That is why, from your point, you may argue that is not hearsay. But here, before this committee, because that confidential information is not brought forth, it becomes hearsay. Do you agree?
Well, like the other evidence that hasn't been corroborated, I guess any of the evidence that's not watered, surely, am I right to say?
Listen to what I'm saying. To you as a researcher,
Yeah.
the information has been corroborated because people might have shown you material evidence on which you can rely. Let's say somebody says, I want to show you a medical report. And then they produce the medical report to you. It does no longer become a hearsay to you. But when you appear before a committee of parliament, you appear before a court of law, you make a statement and say, Soviet was suffering from this kind of illness. And they ask you, where is the medical report? You say, no, I can't produce it because it's a confidential matter. It becomes hearsay. Do you agree with me? That is exactly the point that the two honorable members were probing for you to through your wisdom, come to a point where you say, yes, I agree with you that because I would have confirmed the information myself and it's confidential, I would not be able to bring any evidence before you unless my sources volunteer to come and present it before you. For me, it might not be hearsay because I have confirmed it. But before the committee, in the absence of any evidence, even if I, as Dr. Haas, might have seen it, but when I appear before you without any material evidence, you rightfully consider that as a hearsay evidence.
Yes, although, can I just make one point? You must remember that in two of the cases that the task team did, let's take Mzinti case because that's well documented. The case was withdrawn by the court. So I presume they found too that there was no evidence in terms of the section of the CPA.
Yes, it's true. They will find, even if you have the evidence, the court will find that there is no evidence because it has not been presented before court. You get it? Yes.
Yeah, it was a court outcome.
So you agree with what you are saying that you might have confirmed, you might have seen documents, you might have seen this and that. But if that information never appears before any competent authority, it will remain hearsay regardless of how truthful that information is. And that is why in your own word of mouth, you have also said, I have written to several authorities because I wanted them to further investigate these allegations. Thank you so much.